Hey everybody, welcome to the Jazzy Talk with Jacqueline show. Now my show is called Jazzy Talk with Jacqueline on Entertainment. And I am so excited. I have a juicy guest today and I cannot wait for him to log on. All right, so come on in. And we are just going to wait for 7 o'clock. I like to get on a little early so you guys can go ahead and get settled and get ready to watch the show and all that good stuff. So come on in, everybody. Welcome to Jazzy Talk with Jacqueline live on Entertainment. All right, we got like maybe 1 minute. My guy is about to log on. I'm just excited about this guest. I'm so excited. All my guests are amazing. They're wonderful. And I love doing what I do because it helps you guys with the information that you need. Any type of unions you want to join, whether it's artists, entertainment for music, or acting, we got that information for you on Jazzy Talk. All right, so hopefully he won't have a problem logging on, and I can go ahead and connect with him. So let's see. Y'all know I have to put my little eyes on. Oh, he's on. So let's connect. Okay, Jamelle, you have to connect. All right, guys. Y'all know it's every week I got something going on with this. Now I went away. But now I'm not on. I went away. No, I went away.
Straight here home.
No, I hit something. Hold on, Jamelle. I'm sorry. I don't know what I did.
No worries. I'm here. Hey.
There I go. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. See, this time
trying to catch a good light.
Oh, you
That's
good?
right.
You good?
Okay.
We can see you really good. So tell everybody who you are and all that good stuff. I did let my little co-host know everything about you, but I really want them to know everything about you. So can you just introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, I'm Jamelle Lewis. I'm a singer, songwriter, and of course, vocal performer from Chicago, Illinois. I love music. I love life. So music is life. So I'm glad to be on here with all of you guys. I see somebody on here from Australia, so it's cool to be on here with you guys and just to share some time with y'all.
Great. I am so happy that you decided to join. Always grateful for you guys that come on and share so that other artists can, you can help them out with things that they may not know. So what age, Jamelle, did you actually start singing?
Well, Jacqueline, you know the answer to that. Look, from the very beginning.
Yes.
That's all I know. That's all I remember. Music, like I said, music is my life, my family. My mom sings. My dad sang and played the organ. My grandmother taught piano and sang. So, like, it's been there from the beginning. We played church in the house growing up. I was the youngest.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we made up songs and recorded them, all that. Like, this has been, a lifelong journey.
Yeah. So you started in the church, like
you already know.
Normally.
Exactly. Yeah, I was I actually, my dad played the organ in church, and my mom told me the story about how one time I was sitting on the organ with him, and it was quiet, and I decided it was time for me to play the organ. So, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. How difficult, though, is it for you to pursue this career? Because I see you everywhere. I even see the Cancun Jazz Fest following you. And I mean, everybody wants you to come and perform and do everything. So,
I'm grateful,
because you not only minister, but you also sing jazz, do you?
Yeah, you know what? Jazz, pop, soul music, all of that. R&B, I love it all. I love it all. I get on stage and I rap on stage sometimes if I have to too. So I do it as much as I can. I do
Oh,
as much as I can. I promise. I would say, you know what? I wouldn't necessarily go and say it's difficult. I would say it's interesting. I
oh,
believe the music industry, or even just picking this as a career as a whole, I believe that it's creative in itself to even make a living doing it, and
uh-huh.
also, um, it's really just about, you really have to think outside the box. It's just
Yeah,
different. It's different. So I would say it's interesting, and you always got to stay on your toes. And I believe the relationships you build are key. You never know, just be good to people, basically, to say, because you never know what, one thing leads to the next. One good opportunity or experience leads to the next, and unfortunately, maybe sometimes the negative could be the same. So I would say just it's really just more interesting for me, navigating, and even just the way things come together in the end, with different relationships and different opportunities that come.
all right. Okay, so
Yeah.
how do you book your jobs? And before you answer that, Jamil, I'm sorry. I think I got a lot of people texting me. So if you
Uh-oh, right.
guys are watching, if you could please stop texting, because it kind of cuts off the faces when you're texting. So Jamil, can you answer
Wow.
that question
Yeah.
for me?
How do I book? Various ways. Same thing. Being creative. Like I said, some things come based on certain performances I have. So I always keep business cards on me, because one thing, literally, I can honestly say, one gig or one job opportunity can literally lead to the next. I've experienced um, some things I book on my own. It could be from, I do a lot of weddings and corporate events, so it can be one corporate event to the next. I do have an agent that does certain types of larger scale bookings for like corporate events, or even, some weddings. For example, I also sing in a band where officially in the city of Chicago, we are basically contracted to do various different types of events. So that's a set thing in terms of me, steady working here in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago on the music scene. So it's a lot of different things. But when you put it all together, it works out. So even how you said, me being a minister at my church, things like that. There's many different ways, to get working. You just got to put it all together, really. Be creative.
Okay, great. So you do have an agent, but some things you do on your own.
Yes.
What was, I was going to ask you what was your worst audition, but I
Yeah.
really want to know what's your best audition. And I know that you might need to think about that one.
Yeah.
But can you give us one of the worst and one of the best?
Okay. You know what? The worst is hard. I would honestly say the worst is whichever one I didn't get. Because
Yes.
I'll say this to say, when you audition, you put your best foot forward, you do whatever the homework is that you can do, and you really, even within the music industry, or I'll say in the entertainment industry,
Right.
your job is to audition. So your
Right.
work and your preparation goes into the audition. So I can't really say that I just kind of sensed or felt I've had a bad audition yet, other than the fact that, I guess the ones that I didn't book. So I don't know specifically. And in terms of the best, I would honestly have to probably go with Sunday Best. I was a finalist on Sunday Best. Of course, a lot of people. That's probably one of the most
Yes.
notable things I've been able to do. So I would say that one, just because of the magnitude of it, and that entire process was kind of a culmination of my life's journey. I grew up literally, like I said, with the church background and my family with music and all that. So I can remember even growing up, I would sneak in my mom's room if mom wasn't home or if nobody was around. I would sneak in my mom's room and play music, and because she had a big mirror in her room, so I
Right.
was I would sneak in her room, and I would be pretending I'm in front of the large crowds and singing. So I would say Sunday Best would probably be the best audition I've had, just to see really kind of just certain dreams just come true in those moments. So I would say
Okay.
that was the biggest and the best.
Okay, great. Now, I wanted to ask you, how do you choose the jobs that you want to take? Like,
Um, yeah,
like with actors, You know, we'll know some things we will do and some things that we won't do,
Right.
just won't do.
Yeah.
With singing, I do the same thing. It just depends on what it is.
Yeah.
But for you being a singer first, what
Yeah.
job? How do you choose your jobs? Like,
Okay. Yeah. First, I would say for me, I kind of count the cost. For whatever it is the person is asking. Number one, get all of the information that you can for whatever the
yes,
job is. Get as much information. Don't confirm things. Don't confirm. Are you available? Yeah, I'm available. And take your time.
right. Don't like
Those
just take anything.
exactly right. So that's the first thing. At this point, I would say I kind of count the cost. What is it gonna? Not even just not even monetarily, but what is it gonna cost me to do what this organization or this individual is requesting me to do? What is it going to cost me? Overall, physically and monetarily, and then the fit matters as well. Just the fit of it, of the type of event with what it is that I do.
Right. Know your worth.
And
I'm sure.
it just has to be worth it. It just has to be worth it. I don't take, of course, any and everything that comes my way. Mm-hmm. So I would say it really just has to be worth it. It's not always. It doesn't always come down to just a dollar amount or anything like that. Because what's the old saying? All money ain't good money.
Right. Exactly.
So really just really the right fit. So I would say even on the other side of things, I try not to limit myself from a monetary standpoint. Certain things are good opportunities or good things for you to invest in, or certain causes. Those things are good too. So sometimes I'll get behind a cause and I'll take a gig because this is a good cause and this is something that I stand for, that I believe in, that I want to help push forward. So
exactly.
It's a lot of different things.
I can really relate to that, and I'm glad you said that. I can really relate to that because I just spoke to someone about auditioning for a project, and it's something that I usually don't do. I'm like, right. That's too much. I don't do that. But I thought about the cause, and the cause was so amazing and dear to me. And there's an epidemic, it's a problem, in America. Mm-hmm. So across the world. So I was like, you know what, let me think about that first before I just be like, I'm just not going to do it. But the cause meant a whole lot. That meant a lot. Now, I know most singers do voiceovers work. Do you do any voiceovers, or have you ever thought about doing any?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I do, and it's actually a lot of fun. I don't get to do it as often as I used to, or as often as I would like. But I definitely enjoy voiceovers. My sister is actually a talent agent, and she's the agent I speak of that I say that does some bookings for me in certain areas. More so voiceovers and like on camera acting and different things of that nature. So I enjoy doing voiceovers. I think it's pretty cool. It kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm already familiar with, being on stage or being in the studio. To me, it's kind of like a mix of the two because you're acting and then you're also recording. So it's kind of a mix of me being on stage performing and me being in the studio singing. So it's kind of pretty natural in a sense to me. So I enjoy it too.
Now there's information, guys, that goes out. I'm trying to think of it. I want to give you guys this information while we're talking about voiceovers. There's a website called Voiceover 123 or 123 Voiceover. Mm-hmm. And they are amazing, you guys. And I also, Jamelle, have some information I'll send to you for public. Yeah. Because I used to do a lot of the public stuff with voiceovers. So, we're all about sharing information.
Yeah, I appreciate that, yeah.
If I'm going to try to find that information when I used to do all that, and I'll make sure I get that over to you.
Nice. Definitely. All right. Oh, yeah.
So, I know the artist Daphne Hilton is on. She's a singer here in Atlanta as well. She does a lot of gospel music festivals. She's at the
Yeah.
Stellars and everything, and I see that she's actually on here. She's actually my sister-in-law as
Nice.
well. And Daphne, if you have any questions or you want to relate as an artist or anybody out there, now is the time for you guys to start asking your questions so that Jamille can kind of answer them for you. If you're thinking about being an artist and you want to know how he got started, like what did he do first? Jamille, do you remember what you did maybe to say, okay, I'm going to take this to another level?
Right. Honestly, first, I feel like I tried to do everything. I was young. It was what, maybe 10, 11, maybe even 12 years ago. So I was fresh. I did everything. I was in the studio every day. Back then, that was when kind of like I think like mixtapes began to get really popular. So I took industry tracks and I did maybe like 10 tracks, and I started to press up CDs. At that point, I took on all of the shows. All of the shows are free. I took on all of the shows I could do, just to even begin to build my name. And even on crossing genres, I went in terms of like the gospel scene. I was singing with some friends of mine, so that way I was able to meet a lot of musicians. And a lot of the relationships that I'm even speaking of now that are beneficial have come from things that I've done even 10 plus years ago, or people that I've met, along the way. So even just, I would say, starting out, lend yourself to the craft, learn the craft, soak it up, be around it as much as you can. I can remember spending, it was like a 9 to 5. I wasn't getting paid for it, but I spent my days every day. I would get up in the morning, grab me some food. I would go to the studio and sit in the studio all day, every day, soaking up things from, my producer, different things like that, mixing, engineering. I don't mix music. I'm not an engineer. But even now I'm able to communicate, and I know things. I know my way around the studio. I know my way around, a live show, a live performance. I follow and I study. I watch individuals. I watch people that I work with. So like all of those things have made a difference to, honestly, to get me where I am and to keep me where I am and keep me moving forward. So just soak it up, man. If you want to do something, spend as many hours, as many moments, as many times as you can, just soaking it up. Being in the room, you can be quiet, but being in the room makes a difference. You can learn so many things just by being around what it is you want to do. So go carry somebody's bags. If you want to be a musician, you want to be a drummer, start as a drum tech. You know what I mean? Help the person who's got the big gig in town, that day or that weekend. Help that person. Be around what it is that you want to do and what you want to be. So, and pay your dues.
That's awesome. Pay your dues.
Yeah.
Now, my last question for you is, how did you book Sunday? I mean, how did you start with the audition process, period, for Sunday's Best? How did you start with that process? Because like you say, don't just sit home and do nothing.
Right.
You got, like, a lot of people will say, how did you do this? How did you do that? And I'm saying, I didn't know. I Googled it. I went on YouTube. I figured stuff out.
Yep.
I didn't know how to be a producer for film.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to join the union or what the Screen Actors Guild was for actors.
Yep.
I did not know anything. My husband and I produced our first film.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it a union. I said, shoot, I'm in the union. I want to make it a union film. I just don't want a non-union film. I want to represent that. I knew nothing. It was hard. But I Googled, I called around, I made it happen. So things like that. I know you didn't just sit there. You was like, I want to be on Sunday Best. I want to audition. Where do you start? How did you start that?
You know what's funny? The funniest thing about Sunday Best is to the point I was trying to make before. Is just like, I think you go through different phases. Now I'm in a phase where I can say, in some ways, I'm able to kind of pick certain things out and say, you know what, this is a fit for me. I can't do everything. I can't be everywhere. So I'm able to kind of tailor certain things and pick, based on the opportunities in front of me.
But how did you go for it though?
Yeah. How did
you decide that this is what I want to do?
Yeah. At the time of Sunday Best, I was not where I am now. And I'm saying that to say, I didn't really want to do it. My mom was on Sunday Best, and I can remember just watching the show, and I always said, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do Sunday, but I would never do this show. I would never do a singing competition. I said I would never do it.
Yeah.
But where I was at the time was just like, yo, it's an opportunity, and you need to take the opportunity and audition. This is the craft. This is the field that you are in, and it is an opportunity.